So, okay, we're going to sit here.
Okay.
To take
Good. We have a collection of media guys.
I will take the red one.
Okay. And that's to hit people. You know. And you can tell your whole campus network and the whole ecosystem, they would know. You can always tell them, see, I told you there's so many suppliers. When he's not making it.
Yes, I'm sure. Yeah. It's a sign one.
The man in the bar. Moving is on. Sing.
partnership with Tata. We know whenever you tell us.
I think choose one of these
One opportunity could be to do it next to the Sidun and Fapan assembly line in Gujarat, because we already have the ecosystem, we already have the skilled people, and that makes sense. But we will wait for the guidance of the government. I think that will be we have an engineering center in Bangalore, which is about masters and we design critical components of our we are opening a training center with Tata in a joint venture. That will be here in Gujarat. Now with the single idea. It's the latest generation single idea. Oh, you can go from Delhi to Bali, so you can go international with this one. You can do very short down route, but you can also go international. It's a very versatile up to 150 seats, so it's smaller than the 320, but larger than the ATR. Good passenger space,
something was there.
Remy, comment ça va? Ça va bien?
Good afternoon. Today is a momentous occasion when Airbus is entering into a contract with Dynamatic Technologies to manufacture the doors of A220 aircraft. Now I invite Head of Airbus India Procurement, Harry Flote, to speak on the details of contract.
Good afternoon, all. Today we are here to announce the award of an historic contract for the manufacturing of the doors of our new A220 program to Bangalore-based Dynamatic Technologies. It's one of the largest export contracts in aerospace and awarded to India. Dynamatic will have the end-to-end responsibility of manufacturing all those variants of the A220 aircraft, from the detailed parts to the assembly, to the equipment of all the kinematics, to deliver fully equipped doors to our final assembly line in North America. It will also create downstream opportunities for our other strategic suppliers, such as Ekes, Mahindra, Motherson, Sim Tools behind us, as well as Ferra and Vipro. We are continuously growing our MEC in India, leveraging the competencies, the innovative mindset, and the track record on safety, quality, and reliable performance. And this new contract is a new testament of our continuous engagement.
Parfait.
Thank you. I now invite Dynamatic Technologies CEO, Mr. Udyan Malhotra, to speak.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, General Sahab, Secretary. Thank you all. If I may just switch to the next slide, please.
No, just talk through it.
It'll go through with the video. I'll talk through the video. Okay. So basically, this is a business that we've been doing with Airbus for last 17 years. We have been making very complex mechanical devices, which are the flap rack beam assemblies. For every A318, 319, 320, 321 and A330 aircraft, all their flap rack beams are made in Bangalore. These are complex mechanical assemblies that take the aircraft up into the air when it takes off and brings it down safely when it's landing. And this is for about 800 aircraft every year. These not only have been manufactured for 17 years, 100% on-time delivery, zero defect. We have developed a global ecosystem where we have global best value. And in fact, in December, we had the privilege of hosting Jyotiraditya M, and he came and he was wondering why an Indian company is investing overseas. And we explained that there was a deep capital cost issue in India, and we're very happy, Mantriji, that in the latest budget for the entire aerospace industry, provisions have been made for settling and correcting that shortage of cost that we have. This is a very deep relationship with Airbus. So you have the Chief Operating Officer, CPO, inaugurating our facilities continuously. This is a very interesting product because when it came to us, it had over 200 parts. It was re-engineered. There's been over 200 Kaizen improvements over the last 17 years. Even during COVID, you see Remy and Thierry with me. The plants in India were running. So India was outperformer. All of us, our ecosystem, were delivering on time. And I think today, a whole new journey comes. So we are the first winner of Airbus's Global Sustainability Award, which is like a Nobel Prize for us. This is the smallest door on the A220. It's an emergency hatch for the pilot. As you see here, the minister was on our shop floor, understanding how we can expand this ecosystem. I mentioned at that time, Honorable Minister, that we would have something big coming, and we're very pleased today to have that. So this is the most modern aircraft in the world, commercial jetliner. We make the smallest door on it, but today with this contract, all the 4 variants, the passenger doors, the service doors, the emergency doors, and the cargo doors, as Thierry mentioned earlier, will be made in India. And so this is, these are, as we've seen in the news recently, those are very complex they deal with pressure, they are continuously opening and closing, and they have to be the high safety products. So there's a huge volume, and this I would like to say, each of these doors has a very large number of parts. If you can keep going forward. So inside this, there's a huge opportunity to develop the aerospace system. There are over 250,000 parts that will be exported annually when we are at rate production. And if you go to the next slide, we're very pleased. These are incredible Indian companies. Everybody competes. We are collaborating for Make in India. We are partners. And this is actually, sabke saath chalenge, sabka vikas hoga. So we are very grateful for this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's time for exchange of documents and group photographs.
I think what you all should do is just, Remy, why don't you come next to me? And then come. Thank you. Thanks. And now you do your job.
We can exchange this.
Yeah, you exchange.
We exchange it.
Unless you want to keep it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Merci, monsieur.
Merci.
Thank you, sir.
Je vous en prie.
Sir, if I may,
Ah.
I even have a gift for you.
Ah,
Cadeau.
parfait.
Cadeau.
C'est joli.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have tiny ones as well. Very tiny little glass plaques for you. But it's got a 3-dimensional. Thanks.
You should make one with just a door.
Now I invite
Selection, we have to
Airbus President Remy Maynard to speak on Make in India initiatives of Airbus.
Thank you. Monsieur le Ministre, Honorable Minister, Secretary, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. India is not just a market for Airbus. India is a strategic resource hub. And our strategy in the country is to develop a holistic and state-of-the-art ecosystem across all dimensions: manufacturing, assembly, engineering, innovation, maintenance, and training. Last year, we procured in India components and services for a value of $750 million, including complex components like the flap track beams at Dynamatic. Our ambition is to double our sourcing in India from $650 million up to $1.5 billion in the coming years. Last year we signed contracts with prominent Indian companies like Motherson, Aecus, Mahindra Aerostructure, Tata Advanced Systems for the manufacturing of parts and components of all our Airbus programs. And today I'm delighted that we are awarding the manufacturing and the assembly of the Airbus A220 doors to Dynamatic. And this is significant because this is one of the largest aerospace export orders ever to India. Because we are talking of complex assembly and integration of our systems, and because it will create downstream opportunities in the Indian aviation supply chain. That also means that we are well on track with a $1.5 billion sourcing ambition. And not only that, Airbus is building not one, but 2 final assembly lines in the country. The C-295 military transport aircraft final assembly line and the H-125 helicopter final assembly line. We are growing exponentially our engineering center in Bengaluru. We will reach a strength of 5,000 engineers by 2025. And at Wings India earlier this year, we launched a pilot training joint venture with Air India and a maintenance school together with GMR. We've put Make in India at the front and center of our strategy in the country. Every Airbus commercial aircraft, every Airbus helicopter as parts and technologies designed, manufactured, and maintained in India. We make in India, we assemble in India, we design in India, we innovate in India, we train in India, we maintain in India. And this is reality, it's not wishful thinking, it's happening. And I will conclude by thanking my good partner Toby and Dynamatic, and by thanking the Ministry of Civil Aviation and the Honourable Minister for your unwavering support in our endeavour to make in India. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now I request Secretary Civil Aviation Shri Warnam to speak.
Honorable Minister Civil Aviation Shri Jyotiraditya Scindia, Honorable Minister of State for Civil Aviation General V.K. Singh, I only have a few words to say. To Airbus, I would like to reaffirm that you have come to the right place. These doors will make you proud, will make you fly high, give you the good news. So, congratulations. And to Dynamatic Technologies and to all the industries associated with you, and to all the Make in India units all across the country, the might of Indian government is behind you. We wish you success and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Honorable Minister of State General V.K. Singh to address.
Minister Jyotiraditya M, from our ministry, our Secretary Mang, we have the Airbus being headed by an esteemed Remy Millard, Udyan Malhotra from Dynamatic, and all others who are part of this venture. Very large export order, the first one which I think Airbus has given in such a large number, and technology which they trust that it will be matching what they would have manufactured otherwise. Dynamatic has already proved their credentials in terms of what they manufacture, and now with Airbus 220, all the doors being manufactured, I think the ecosystem and the downstream supply chains will also work out, creating the ecosystem in a better manner where aerospace work and manufacturing can pick up in a much bigger way. Congratulations to both the Airbus and Dynamatic, and I'm sure we will see better things in times to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Honorable Minister of Civil Aviation Shri Jyotiraditya Scindia ji to speak.
Seated with us in this very important occasion, Minister of State, General Dr. V.K. Singh Sahab, Secretary Civil Aviation Mang Sahib, our representatives from Airbus, Remy Millard and Thierry Cloutez, the gentleman who has in many ways pioneered very complex aerospace manufacturing in India, our very own entrepreneur, who's now the CEO and MD of Dynamatics, but started it as really something that was his passion, Udyan Malhotra ji, Piyush Srivastav ji, my senior economic advisor in the ministry, and all my friends in the media. Today really is a golden letter day in the journey of civil aviation in India. Today is a day that not only marks the coming together of the largest aviation manufacturer in the world in the form of Airbus, along with our engineering prowess in India in the form of Dynamatics Technologies, but it also marks in many ways what has come to be in terms of India becoming a destination for aerospace manufacturing across the world. The largest export order for aircraft doors being given to a company that is already well ensconced in the portfolio of Airbus as one of their accomplished ancillary units, Dynamatics Technologies, already manufacturing a number of products for Airbus and other manufacturers. And this is the second order of aircraft doors in India. The first order was given to Tata Advanced Systems for the A320 and now for the A220. All doors being made by our very own Indian manufacturer. In many ways, this is a testament to the resolve that the Prime Minister has always had. The resolve of Atmanirbhar Bharat, the resolve of Make in India, and the story of Dynamatic Technologies is a testament to that fact. So to Airbus, I would say this is the right time to be in India. This is the right time to invest in India as India makes her journey from Amrit Kal to Shatabdi Kal. Airbus is no stranger to India. It's one of the leaders in the aerospace business that has always believed in India. And this is a part of Airbus's journey in India. As Remy said, they already export $750 million worth of manufactured parts from India, growing this to $1.5 billion, doubling it in the next year or so. But along with procurement from Indian firms, procurement from India, Airbus has invested a lot in developing the human resource talent and potential in India as well. From a management center that has been India Information Management Center that's been set up, to Airbus India Innovation Center, to a pilot training center. There's been a tremendous investment both in technology transfer as well as human resource development in India by Airbus. We too, from a governmental perspective, are growing the human resource talent. We've doubled the number of FTOs. Last year, we've reached a new height of 1,100 commercial pilot licenses that we have given out. And we are very committed along that path of developing the HR potential within India. Airbus today, there is not a single aircraft or helicopter in its fleet, I'm proud to say, that does not have a component that is made in India. And that is a huge testament. Not only has Airbus sourced components from India, but it's really put its foot forward and planted it firmly on Indian soil with the two FALs, the final assembly lines, one for the C-295 aircraft and now the H-125 Accrual helicopter based in Vadodara. So on this day, I'd like to congratulate both Dynamatic Technologies, that is a symbol of Startup India, a symbol of Make in India, a symbol of an entrepreneur that had real passion for aerospace and civil aviation, as well as congratulate Airbus as it goes along its journey in terms of really planting itself firmly on Indian soil through the sourcing of products from India, through taking our human resources to their potential, and in that process, getting a huge value addition to its product as well. So congratulations to both parties, and I wish you all the best as you walk down this journey of cementing ties between India and France, India and the cutting edge of technology, India and the opportunity that she represents on the world stage in a journey from 2024 to 2047. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now it's time for Q&A session. We'll restrict to few questions on the subject. Please introduce yourself before asking the question.
Sir, Karishma this side from Business Today. Could you please share the financials of this deal?
What I can share is that, as the Honorable Minister mentioned, we will double our sourcing from India from $750 million last year to $1.5 billion. And I can tell you that this deal is an integral part on our trajectory to reach the $1.5 billion sourcing in the coming few years.
Any other?
Mr. Ravi, my question is for you. You've got 1,000 aircraft on order from Indigo alone, plus from Air India. So what is the threshold before you decide on an FAL in India?
Well, as you know, we're already building not one, but two final assembly lines in the country, the C-295 and the H-125 helicopter. As I said in my address, the strategy is to develop the holistic and state-of-the-art ecosystem across all dimensions. And we are doing that. And as you know very well as well, the Airbus supply chain in the country as of today generate more jobs and more value than any assembly activity will do. Maybe you want to complement that.
Yeah, so I can just say this, a FAL represents roughly 15% of the value. The real deep value is in what you saw on the video. It's deep industrial production down into the supply chain from the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, the engineering. And if you were to visit Bangalore and you have an open invitation, there's a whole ecosystem. Today we actually have in the room the CXOs of Mahindra Aerospace, Aegis, Wipro, Motherson, and Terra, all sitting here. So it's a whole of country approach, and it's very deep. So I think I just echo what Remy said. Thank you.
Just to add to that, what you have to also comprehend that there are two approaches that are followed in the world. One is a bottom-up approach, where you first start with ancillary and product lines and parts, and then you slowly build yourself up to a FAL. The other approach is to go slam bam and put the FAL in on day one and develop the ecosystem around it. In India, we are following both approaches. So there is a bottom-up approach of development of technology, capability, industrial engineering, computer science, CAD/CAM development, all of that. And there is a top-down approach, where you've seen the C-295 FAL facility, where 40 out of 56 will be made in India planes, as well as now the H-125 helicopter. Suffice to say that in the last decade, under the Prime Minister's leadership, you have seen a paradigm shift in India's capability from being just a product and software supplier to becoming a really value-added supplier. And that is really demonstrated in her capability of producing fuselages for the Apache helicopters, appendages for the C-130J Hercules, complex tail fin structures for the 737. You've got Indian and international companies coming in here and doing all the electrical wire harnesses for airplanes. And mind you, you're talking about millions of feet of wire in an aircraft, and very complex structures, seat harnesses, the emergency chutes, which hopefully no aircraft in India or hopefully internationally in the world will ever use, but the emergency chutes being made in India. Now doors being made in India. So there's a tremendous synergy happening from both a bottom-up perspective and a top-down perspective. And tremendous value addition, and as Udayanji said, it really comes from the complex engineering that eventually goes into build that aircraft. And so today there is not a single aircraft that is built, as I mentioned, in the Airbus portfolio that does not have a Indian part or an equipment or a product that's used in it. And therefore we are well on our way to becoming a really major aerospace player. And the last comment I'd like to make is that please also understand that the frontiers of technology across all that we know as human beings or experience, from your mobile phone to your scooter to your motor car, the frontiers of technology all emanate from space and aerospace. And the innovation always takes place on these two frontiers. And it is from these two frontiers that really the trickle-down effect happens across all other industries. And a very simple example I want to give you of that is the HUD displays, the head-up displays that you now have in cars. Those were first brought about on space vehicles that were deployed, and then in aircrafts. And now it's trickled down to autos and vehicles. So that frontier of technology today is taking its place in India, which talks about and portends the value chain deployment in India in the years to come.
Our friend from ET.
Sir, my question is specific to our own in-house domestic design and manufacturing of aircraft. Both CSR and National Aerospace Laboratories and HL has been working on the, at least on the design phase on the regional transport aircraft for some time now. Has the ministry had any update as to what stage it currently is? And are there any funding that is being introduced for that particular project?
So the RTA is something that is on the anvil of CSIR and NAL and working with HAL. And they are developing a project. They are looking at two phases. Phase one, where it's more the design element, and phase two, which will be later on the manufacturing. But it's really in seed stages right now. And as it progresses, we will keep you informed.
So, on the lines of this Make in Indian aviation, one of the international hub, if you can just give a comment, like through your recent X platform that you mentioned. That
Through the recent? Use your mic, please.
The sir, on your X platform, you have mentioned that you are going through this pilot test of biometrics for the international travelers. If you can just apply what sort of
So today the press conference is limited to the aerospace manufacturing industry. I'd be happy to talk to you about that at any other point of time. But suffice to say that the experience that we've had with DigiYatra in terms of rolling it out today at 13 airports, which covers roughly about 85 to 86% of our domestic traffic. We want to do two things. A, extend that domestically. So in FY 24-25, we are looking at 11 airports in H1, that's the first half, and another 14 airports in H2. So which means that this 13 will go to 38 by the end of FY 24-25. And secondly, as we've got the learnings from DigiYatra, also look at extending it to international passengers. But the complexities there are different, because we have to make sure we coordinate with the Ministry of External Affairs, the Ministry of Home Affairs, because the concept of the e-passport, the e-visa, all of that has to be built into this platform. And therefore, we are working on that as we speak. And all I can tell you is that we are committed to extending that both laterally as well as deepening it domestically into other airports as well.
Sir, my question is that delivery schedule of this dose. Do you have the timeline for this?
Last question.
We actually start industrialization. We've actually already started industrialization, because if you wait for the contract, you'll be late on the contract. These are very specific. We will be delivering the first doors early next year. There's a whole process of industrialization and qualification and testing a first article inspection, and then we go to series production. So you will see this delivery start next year.
With this,
Not this year, not this year.
This year there will be a massive industrial engineering work going on. It's already started. So production technically has already started. I mean, although we have the gun triggers pulled today, but we've already mobilized and started our processes.
So the first delivery will be the next year, early next year.
Yes.
with this we conclude this event. Thank you everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations. Ravi? Very good to see you all and congratulations.
Yes.